Okay, so performance-wise, ROG3 has an octa-core chip clocked at 3.1. This is Snapdragon A65 Plus ninjas with Adreno 650 clocked at 700 MHz. The GPU rendering-wise, the performance from Snapdragon A65 is around 10% higher ninjas. So again, it's not a big difference. Don't think you're gonna get something really big with the Snapdragon A65 Plus. Obviously, it's always good to have a newer technology and new chipset, not just because of the GPU-wise, but also camera-wise and everything else in the background. We have Wi-Fi 6 model with this one, remember that, and we have a 5G model with the, of course, ROG3. So all together, you have everything packed. We're gonna go quickly. Remember that this is a DDR5, and we have a UFS 3.1, 12 gigs of RAM, and 128 gigs of storage. We're gonna quickly go to benchmarks, and I'll show you right now. I show you already the update. I done a few times the Antutu score, and just so far the highest temperature I got with Antutu after running it a few times was 43, physical one. Battery wise, yeah, is that battery or the CPU? That's 41. It was 41, but physical temperature, which I could feel on the display on the screen itself, was for 43. This is the GFX bench, and ninjas, this is the highest score that I get for the T-Rex off-screen 1080p, 191 FPS. That's an amazing basically number for Snapdragon A65 Plus. Anyway, so it has the 5th generation of the AI engine. AI performance doubled. The Antutu score they advertised as 655,000, but I got how much? I get 20,000 less ninjas. Maybe not 30,000 less. I get 30,000 less. I don't know how they got that score. I don't know, but for me right now, this is the highest score that I got with the ROG3. Anyway, like you see myself, it works really good. I can see that there are some few bugs which are not, as an example, the YouTube sometimes freezes and they need to fix this. I noticed that it does. What was that? Sorry, I pressed my thing. I noticed that it does freeze sometimes. This is a bug. I don't know, did other reviewers even reported any bugs whatsoever with the /detailed reviews? Anyway, so let's go next. What we're gonna show you next, it is a little bit some information, because you love me, in my reviews to show these benchmark apps, these information apps like AIDA64 and Device Info HW. So we're gonna go quickly through the settings. So you can just pause everything. I don't want to bother you too much. Now we're gonna go to HW and show you here the sensor. So it does have a gyroscope. Barometer is not there. Gyroscope is just works fine. Everything is working fine here. The sensors don't have any problems. Let's go with the light sensor. It works fine, like you see by yourself here. Thermals with the regular use, it's around, like you see by yourself, 39 to 40 Celsius on the CPU itself. With the regular use, like opening the apps and having like 10-15 apps in the background. Yeah, and there some of them are games, but light games. Okay, the most important thing, the game mode, the ROG mode, the Matrix Liquid Cooling 3.0 with this one. So ninjas, we have 3 levels. Level 1 is built-in liquid cooling. Large area 3D vacuum chamber soaking plat, large graphene. So this is graphene basically chambers, vacuum chambers. We have level 2, which is efficient heat transfer cooling fins, cover CPU and 5G chips 7 times the area of the previous generation, custom aluminum frame under the hood. And we have the level 3 active cooling of peripherals, cooler fan 3, reduce 4 body surface temperatures and cooling grid, effectively remove waste heat. Just remember that. So what I noticed, which is really interesting, that this smartphone heats on this area the most, not here. Usually the smartphones which I review, they heat the most here, but this one heats around here, the ROG3, which is very interesting, but very interesting. And when you just, what do we have here regarding this mode? X mode, you can enable it. This is the game Genie mode, manage my games, function order and customization, background connection and whitelist, preferences and touch settings. Of course, you can display visual. You can just go through these settings. I don't want to bother you too much in this review. Maybe I'm gonna make a special review, gaming review, and add all this stuff. You do have a tutorial. Have also auto update, fan speed. You can enable the fan speed, disable fan when microphone is active. We're not gonna. Okay, that makes sense, ninjas. Anyway, system lighting, you can also enable system lighting on the background so that your logo is lightened up. Lighting synchronization, this is also super cool. Many great things. Play AR mission incomplete, not yet, bro. Anyway, 670 megahertz is showing us here the GPU. Interesting, not 700 megahertz. The current one working right now. Okay. There is also the one which basically the extreme mode, but you need to have the additional gadget, the cooling system with this one. So far that I get some get information. Anyway, I think this is it regarding this settings and launch scenario profiles. Launch, you can launch the games, different games. You can select here from, let me just go it like that. It's a little bit easy for me to go it in this mode, game library. You just go here, and on the bottom you can add games or disable which apps you want to run in this mode, ninjas. Okay, you don't have to run like small games with this mode. It makes no sense. Okay, but I did run the benchmarks app with it and emulation. I will do that. So ninjas, I think this is it regarding the ROG. So remember, it has also a cooler fan, increased by 40%, 4 Celsius less, if I can go like that, the decreased body temperature. Aura RGB lighting effect comes with the stand, and full-featured Type-C interface, supports 30 watts fast charging, comes with a 3.5mm headphone jack. That's, of course, if you buy the additional gadgets for the ROG 3. X mode level 3, active hardcore performance. So yes, you need to get, ninjas, yourself the ROG cooler fan, which I don't have it right now. So I'm talking about this cooler fan, which will give you around 4 Celsius less. I don't have it, so I can't tell you. This is what the ROG company said, advertised. So I'm not sure will it be 4 Celsius cooler. That would be amazing if it's gonna be 4 Celsius cooler with this one, with this gadget. And also you can even activate the extreme mode with that cooler. Anyway, I think that's it. Oh my god, I talked so much regarding this phone. We should move now next. Remember that this is of course an LTE, 4G, LTE and 5G model, so you can use 5G if you have it in your country. The 4G LTE, this is ninjas. Remember that it is useful, but please make sure to check the bands current on the site. You can see the bands, so please make sure to check them with your country. This is very important. And remember that it's easy to install the Play Store with this Asus ROG 3. If you buy it from Trading Shenzhen, the Play Store will come already pre-installed with this one, so you don't have to bother with that one. If you buy it from CECT or Banggood, I think on Banggood also comes with the on the CECT, maybe even on the CECT shop it comes. I think so. It does. I think it does. Anyway, what else? It has dual band Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 5.0, GPS, AGPS, GLONASS, Beidou, you name it. And just all the GPS interface is there. Basically, all the GPS functions are there. The modes. We have NFC support, we have computer sync, OTA sync, tethering, and VoLTE. So what we don't have with this one, it is the audio jack and radio FM with the ROG 3. Beautiful. Let's go next. Okay, a lot of you will ask about the CPU throttling test for the ROG 3. So yes, you're gonna find it also in this review of TechUtopia style, ninja style. Stay tuned. In just 11 minutes of the CPU throttling test, we're gonna test here the temperatures. Let's check here the temperatures. Also, we can check here the temperatures on the bottom regarding the CPU temperature, 43 Celsius. Okay. So far, this is normal for this chipset. 41.3, 41.2, 41.5. So this is normal. This is normal, just. Okay, you can see also here by itself. Can't say that I'm really that. I don't even know regarding the CPU throttling test. This app itself, example, the other smartphones, Snapdragon A65 were better regarding the CPU throttling. They did throttle less than the Snapdragon A65 Plus now. But again, you get the point here. There's no critical issues with it, so don't worry about it. Not even medium issues along that. It's like a small throttling happening with this beast of a chip. Okay, here we go, 15 minutes exactly how it's recommended, how much minute is recommended to run the CPU throttling app, 41.7, so almost 42 Celsius. And you can see by yourself here the performance. So it's time to test the in-display fingerprint sensor and Face ID ROG 3. Let's test the fingerprint sensor. It's reliable, and always basically the display logo, the fingerprint logo will appear here, or the trace, if I can call it like that. Sorry for that, I missed it completely, the fingerprint sensor. And when it's very reliable. It is very reliable. Maybe out of 20 attempts, we're gonna have one false attempt, but 99% this is very reliable fingerprint sensor. So don't worry about it. But what I noticed, it's not as fast as with OnePlus 8 Pro and Xiaomi devices. It is a little bit slower than just, and you can notice that. Honestly, you can notice that. And let's go now with the Face ID. Face ID, very fast, very fast. Not the same level as the OnePlus, I don't expect, because this is an Oxygen. This is a different Android skin. But for a gaming phone, this is completely acceptable. Completely acceptable. From 1 to 10, giving it 7.5 score for the fingerprint sensor and Face ID. Let's move on.